Hello and welcome to another edition of UFO Video Addicts. Let me give you a preview of what I got coming up in this video. The first is a video from 1997. Military caught, I guess this is a Tic Tac UFO or something. Let's see. Also have something that the Mars rover discovered on Mars. You can see this little object here. This is a video about the possibilities of there being undersea UFO bases near Santa Catalina channel based on the number of USO encounters that they've had there. Let's see, this is an article about this guy who claims that he was taken to an underground base by gray aliens in 1988. This was a memo that was being held by, I think it was General Marcel or something like that. Marcel is all I can remember. But anyways, someone took it through Photoshop and basically broke it down to reveal what it said. Let's see. This is an article about a term that was used in this UAPTF report. This guy, Bob Pliskin, I don't think that's his real name though. But anyways, he just talks about how this term signature management is a very telling term, based on how it was used in a military report. Let's see, also have this image here. Yeah, I just wanted to give people an idea of the known galaxy. If you zoom in, super one of these little specks is going to be, so then, you think about the amount of space and the amount of time out there to create all of this. And to think that, with all of that space, with all of that time, all that possibility, that, we're the only people out there is kind of ridiculous. Let's see, this is an article about a 5.7 million year old ancient human footprint that was found. And then last is this article about a 3-year-old who recalls his past life, identifies killer and the location of his body. Pretty interesting. Okay, so anyways, let's go to this first video here. This was from 1997. This UFO was caught on a military camera. Check this out here. Anyways, I can't, this is as much as I can play with this thing, or they'll hit me with a copyright violation. But anyways, taking into consideration, this was filmed in 1997, right? So it's obvious that our military has been encountering these things for a long time. So I believe that FLIR radar technology that they built in the Go Fast or the gimbal videos, I think that technology was made specifically in order to capture these things because, our so-called enemies, right? They didn't have any missiles that could travel that fast. At that time that they were, that they made that FLIR. So I think a lot of this military technology, military hardware is actually designed to detect our neighbors. And, and the notion that we're at war with Russia or China is all theater. It's just a front story in order to cover up for, what's really going on is that our military, including the military of China and Russia, is probably hunting, or hunting some of our neighbors, because I think, it's more than one. There has to be more than one advanced species. I think some of them our government is in contact with and actually working with, and then there are others that they're not. But anyways, let's go on to this video here. Yeah, I don't have to play this video because essentially it's just, this is it. They took a photo of this object here, and, you can see, I think something crushed. And this could be something from the Mars rover, when we landed, right? But it seems to me like something hit here, moved over there, and then something else skidded off over here. But anyways, a link to this will be in the description. Okay, now this video here, 14 minutes long, it's just all about these encounters that people have had between Santa Catalina Islands. But let me see, let me play some of these here.
Undersea's object. The boat had set sail from Seattle, Washington, and was making its way down the coast of California when tragedy struck. Without any warning, the yacht either struck or was rammed by an unidentified metal object. The boat sank shortly later, without any evidence remaining of what had struck their boat. Crewman Carl Jansen elaborated on the event, saying, "I don't care how deep it was. What held us was real. It was steel, and a long piece. There was no give to it at all."
And anyways, yeah, this is just, it's 15 minutes of all these different stories. Check out this one story here. Let's see. This one here, where this guy was surrounded by a square light. And then there's another story here. Look at this thing. This is what went under this guy's boat. And then there's another story where they were surrounded by a bunch of different lights. Oh, here it is. Check out this one. You know, can you imagine going through the ocean, all of a sudden, all these, I mean, yeah, this guy isn't sure if they were creatures or if they were machines. But a bunch of these things of various sizes start floating around under your boat. And, you know, I think there's a bunch of these different stories. And remember, you know, these are just the ones that are in this, happen to be in this video. There has to be hundreds of these stories of people encountering strange objects underwater just here, you know, between Catalina Island. So, you know, there are stories about the Bermuda Triangle and, you know, other places that have routinely had encounters with strange ships cruising around under the water. I mean, at some point you have to acknowledge that these things must be coming from the ocean. But anyways, let me go on to this next article here. Oh yeah, so now this is about, you know, some guy here, Carlos Manuel Mercado, who says that he was taken to an underground base in, let's see, in these mountains that he talks about. I think it was in Puerto Rico someplace. But he encounters, you know, tall white aliens. Yeah, here, the Sierra, yeah, this is the Sierra Bamajea, southwestern Puerto Rico. But anyways, check out, very interesting article here. And now this one here, this is the memo that was held by Jesse Marcel, I think his name was. But anyways, check out this memo. Acknowledges that a disc is next new find west of Cordon at location was a wreck near operation at the, in addition, Pod Air Force, CH, and the victims of the wreck, you forwarded to the team at Fort Worth, Texas. Aviators in the disc, they will ship for A8th Aramu, something visitors. Something about Wright Air Force assess Air Force at Roswell. But anyways, yeah, this was supposedly the memo that Jesse Marcel is holding in that photograph, where he's claiming that the disc that fell was a weather balloon. And yeah, in it, you know, you can see him holding this memo, and through the use of Photoshop, you know, this is what they were able to pull off of it. But anyways, check it out. Link will be in the description. Okay, now here, this article here, I think is very, very significant. It was written by here, former intelligence analyst in the Marine Corps. But yeah, I don't think Bob Pliskin is actually his real name. But here he talks about this signature management. When used in military or defense context, a signature would be any manner at identification that can be detected by an adversary. Examples of what would be considered a signature would be a radar cross-section, active or passive signals emitted, infrared emissions, or even distinctions that can be seen visually, meaning an identification can be made. Signature management would be a term used to indicate an active attempt to avoid or prevent detection. The term's use in the UAPTF report implies observed behaviors of UAP that shows awareness or self and measures being taken to avoid detection. An acceleration could be suggestive that UAP are adapting to current or developed method of detection. So basically, they're acknowledging that they know that these disks are being intelligently controlled because, they're trying to avoid detection, supposedly. And I think they also, they talk about how they also try to alter or like jam their radars. But anyways, I think this is a very, very significant article that most people are missing. But anyways, check it out. Let's see, let me go on to this next. Oh yeah, this image here. Yeah, I just wanted to post this too. Give people who still, believe that like we're alone in the universe and how crazy that could be, taking into consideration how big our universe actually is. Actually, it's not even a universe now. Now they're calling it a multiverse. And then just but within our universe, there are all of these possibilities. So yeah, I mean this. Yeah, in order for this to have happened, it takes time, lots and lots of time. And I also don't believe that any of this is just happening by coincidence. Like the notion that like our planet or humans, were created just by accident, by certain molecules just bumping into each other and then, creating life is kind of ridiculous. Anyways, check that out. Let's see. Well, yeah, so now here is this article about 5.7 million year old ancient human footprints that were found. A controversial discovery of a human-type bipedal footprint was found in western Crete, Greece, far from the origin of humanity in Africa, which dates back to the late Miocene period, 5.7 million years ago. Look, you know what? It comes down to it. What we were taught, or what we thought, this notion that, the first human walked out of Africa and that modern humans have only been around for approximately 200,000 years is wrong. Because the people who came up with those ideas or those models didn't have all of this new evidence, right? So, again, I don't understand why it's so difficult for people, for academics, people with PhDs, scientists, to just change their mind, right? If you thought something and then you're presented with evidence that contradicts what you thought or believed, instead of trying to dispute or discredit the evidence, just change your mind. It's that simple. You just go, oh, well, I was wrong. I guess based on this new evidence that I have to change my mind and my world belief. It's that simple. Anyways, check out this article. And then here, last is this, again, this article about what a lot of people find very hard to believe, in the notion that people can be reincarnated, even though there are hundreds of documented stories very similar to this. Here, a Syrian boy born with a long red birthmark on his forehead showed the elders where his past life body and the murder weapon were buried. Let's see, let me get to the point where the boy took the elders to where the body was buried, and in that very spot they found a man's skeleton with a wound to the head that corresponded with the boy's birthmark. They also recovered the axe with which he had been killed. Faced with the evidence, the killer then admitted to the crime. Again, this is, I've read several stories of, not all of them, and, where the person was murdered, but I've read other stories about little girls in India who, and and like, yeah, there's a family that actually shares two separate families share this little girl because she was killed, or one in one family she got hit by a car and was born to another family not too far from that family. So they both of these families raised this girl as their daughter. I guess to some people that would be considered crazy, but to their customs, it's completely normal. But anyways, that is going to be it for this video. If you like things like this, please give this video a thumbs up. Please share this video. And if you're new to the channel, please subscribe. I'll have more things like this. Take care.